Welcome to another episode of Mental Health Mondays, where I talk to guests who are either professionals in the mental health space, advocates of mental health, or those that live with or experience a mental health challenge. And today, my guest unfortunately had to reschedule. So you get me. Yay. But it's after the holidays and I actually don't feel very good today. So this may be a pretty quick mental health Mondays. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. But I thought that since it is after at least Christmas and we're going into New Year's and there's so many holidays that are around this time, it would be just a good idea to talk about the holidays in general. And I know that I have alluded and I've talked about this over several different mental health Mondays where my guests unfortunately don't show up. I've talked about these things. So I just want to go over them again. And if you're watching this on YouTube, again, reminder, make sure you mash down that subscribe button. If you're watching this on LinkedIn or Facebook, you probably already follow us, but if you don't, make sure you follow us. So again, I'm not feeling the best. My throat, I just woke up and my throat was really, really hurting today. And I don't know, just out of nowhere, I was fine the rest of the weekend, spending time with family, and just woke up this morning with a really sore throat. So my apologies, but we'll get through this together. Also wearing my glasses because my eyeballs hurt, and that's okay. Hey, again, it's not about perfection. It's really about getting the information out and bringing you the resources that you possibly need. So, the the things that I want to share, and I have alluded to this and I've told you a couple times, but BCC Evolution is now hosting free support groups on the Circles app. So it's like actually called Circles, and it's a emotional support app that people can join to be able to get support around all kinds. There's so many different categories and so many amazing people leading rooms on this platform, to, like, during the holidays there are grief and loss, there's divorce, there's narcissism, there is mental health, there are, I'm trying to think, what are the other ones? There's so many. So if you need any extra support around a specific topic, so ours that I lead today on Mondays is Never Alone Through Grief or Loss, and that's at 12:30 Mountain Standard Time till 1:30 p.m. And then I also do a second group right now on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time till 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and that one is mental wellness through the holidays. And a lot of times, so these groups actually have been um expanding. I don't know, that's not the right word, but they've been stretching my abilities, especially around my listening skills and my NLP, really, like, so neuro linguistic programming. You probably may or may not know, but I have my master practitioner certification and training and consultant certification in neuro linguistic programming. So it's a different type of, it can be therapy, it can be coaching. There's so many different avenues of it, but ultimately, it's a way for me to understand people. So I'm like human trained. And my mentor reminded me that I have more training under my belt than a good chunk of counselors and therapists. So that's pretty cool. But it makes me so these support groups that I'm running, it really is somewhat challenging. So for me, my sister passed away. We're coming up on 6 years. And after she completed suicide, I know that first year I was pff, just surviving. I was not even living. And that's part of my story. And but then when I hit like this wall, I was like, I got to do something about this. I went to counseling and it was okay for that time. And then the next year, 2018, I found NLP and it was just life changing for me. Hence the reason I've gotten so many certifications. I'm actually getting my official coaching ICF certification currently. And because it's been so impactful on my life that I want to be able to help it or help share it with other people because it's so life transforming. Anyway, so I found NLP, and ultimately it helps with more choice and wholeness and all those amazing things. And so on these circle support rooms, it's really been challenging my listening skills. And I, even in our mental health first aid classes, we talk about listening non judgmentally and how you can do that as a person for other people. Because one, nobody wants anybody's advice, like really truly, unless they actually ask you, like, hey, what do you think? But again, we have to be reminded it's not about you or me, right? It's not about me, it's about that other person that I'm helping. And so, again, it's not about you, it's about them. And so, listening non judgmentally and silence. Silence can be the most powerful tool that you possibly have in your toolbox because one, it shows that you are truly listening. And then two, you're also able to, I call it parrot phrasing, which is another thing that I learned in NLP, but you're actually using their words back to them and showing that you're really truly listening to them completely. But it also helps clarify in their brain what they're saying, which can be really, really helpful, especially for somebody who is experiencing whether it be depression, anxiety, or bipolar. Maybe they're on a high, or maybe they're on a low, or like schizophrenia. Like, actually saying their words back to them, like, is that something that they said, or is it something that maybe they heard in their head, right? So it helps with that clarification piece. And so with these groups, this is a long drawn out way of explaining this, but with these groups, it's really been testing my ability to listen non judgmentally and paraphrase. And that's a really great thing, though. But a lot of things that I hear, and this is what I want to talk about today, is as we navigate, sorry, I'm all over the place. As we navigate through the holidays, it can be really, really important, the words that we say to ourselves and the words that we say to others. And that's the thing that I really want to talk about today is words. So oftentimes I hear in these groups that a lot of what comes up is I well, okay, so some of the phrases that are said is like, "I'm a burden." "Why am I really here? Why does my life matter? I'm so miserable without this person." Or, so you also have to understand that grief and loss are not just the loss of a person. It can also be the loss of identity. It could be the loss, and when I say identity, that means maybe when I was younger, I was like, I'm going to be a teacher, or I'm going to be the president, or whatever I think that my life is supposed to be. Or maybe it's just like, my life's going to be happy. I'm going to be normal, whatever normal is. And I'm going to get married, and I'm going to have 3 kids, and I'm going to do this and that. And I'm going to have this great job and this great car. And then you get to that point. Like for me, I was like, I'm gonna get married by 30. I'm gonna have 2 kids. That did not happen. So by the time I hit 30, I was like, this is not how I thought my life or how I planned it to be. And so it's that you actually have to like grieve the loss of that identity that you thought was going to be. So that's what I mean when I say identity. The other thing is that there's so many different things that you can grieve. Again, the loss of an actual person. It could be a pet, it could be a divorce, it could be a breakup, it could be like a identity, it could be so many things. Maybe you got in a car accident. I know one of my friends, her daughter is going through this right now. Horrific car accident, but ultimately she's having to relearn how to walk and talk and all those things that we take for granted, right? And so it's that, like, mom, as the mom, and my friend, she thought that her daughter, would be the teenager, right? And experience things as teenagers do. But now it's changed their whole world. They had to move from one state back to Colorado and they're having to relearn their life. Like that's a grief, that's a loss. You still have to process those things. And for me, like adoption is a loss, right? It's grief. Like I actually had to process the loss of my daughter, although she's still in my life to this day. I still, when I was 16 years old, had to process that loss and that grief or go through the grief. And so there's a lot of things centered around grief and loss that ultimately that's what people come in for. So we've had a lot of conversations about what I thought was once going to be and is no longer. And then again, I've heard like I'm a burden, I have suicidal thoughts, I don't want to be alive anymore. I just wish the holidays would get over. I just want to make it through this time. Like those are the things that I'm hearing every single week. But the best part that I have been hearing is that I love coming to this platform and I love being here because I can just be me. Like it's just my voice. Nobody knows what I look like. Nobody knows anything about me other than my voice. And I can share whatever I need to. And I can go through this experience. And everybody on this platform has been so supportive. And that's really, really cool because sometimes all you need is to go in and talk about it. And that's what I needed, like, towards the end of the first year after I lost my sister, is I just needed somebody to talk to about it. Like, I just kept it in for so long because in my mind, I thought that I had to be strong. I thought that I just had to keep moving. Like, I had a year-old kid. Like, I just had to keep going. I can't process anything. And I think that's where people get really wrapped up in what we say again to ourselves or to others. I was saying to myself, you have to be strong for your family. You have to keep going. You can't stop. You just have to be busy. Those were the things I told myself. And I oftentimes hear people say, well, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have luck at all. That one can be really damaging. Or I'm a burden. I don't know why I exist. I don't know why I'm here. But if you think about it from the flip side of that other person in your life, why would they want you to be here? What are you offering to them? Is it support? Is it love? Is it being that person that maybe they don't have in their life anymore? Are you family? Are you friends? Whatever it might be. Again, I know we have to think about ourselves, and that's really, really important. We have to be able to take care of ourselves before we try to take care of anybody else. And so that's when I talk about, I also like to talk about like the Eeyore syndrome. Nobody loves me. Everybody hates me. I'm going to go eat worms, right? He's so down in the dumps, but that's where he kind of lives because that's all he's constantly thinking about is the negativity, not the positivity. And so it's really important as we go through this journey, as we go through the holidays, to really listen and pay attention. What are the words that we're saying to ourselves? What are the words that we're saying to others? Is it, oh man, I got to spend time with my family? Oh gosh, I don't have enough money to buy presents. Oh my gosh, everybody's going to hate me because I didn't show up with presents or I didn't do this or I didn't do that. Well, you know what? It's not about you. It's about the other person. And this is a time for giving. And it really, really matters what you say to yourself and what you say to others. I can get through this. I know I'm powerful. I know that I'm strong. I know it's okay to have emotions. Yeah, sure, maybe the holidays suck, but you know what? There's a lot of really great things about it too. I do have support. I do have family. I do have friends. I got spoiled for Christmas. I have the ability to make the money that I need to pay for those presents. I have the ability within myself to do these three things. I have the ability to make it through the holidays, and I'm going to make it as good as I possibly can because maybe that person that I lost, they want it to be that way. They don't want me sitting here being miserable. I don't want to sit here and be miserable. Our brain doesn't want you to sit here and be miserable. Our brain wants us to go towards pleasure and away from pain. That's what it's designed for. I know you've heard of fight or flight before. Our brain is conditioned to protect us. That's what it's for. So, with that said, I also want to bring in a couple tools or tips or tricks that you can use as you navigate through the holidays. We just went through Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas, and maybe some of you are still on Hanukkah. Also, New Year's is coming up next week. Maybe you have birthdays. Like, I don't know about you, but our family has a ton of birthdays in this time span. So, maybe you have birthdays, maybe you have more celebrations that you do. I know that I have viewers from across the world. And so, whatever holidays you might be celebrating, these are tools that you can utilize throughout this holiday season. And one of the easiest, and I know I've talked about this before, but the easiest thing is this thing that's already attached to you. It's your mouth. You can simply smile. It can be a fake smile. It doesn't even have to be a real smile. It can be a fake smile. It is scientifically proven that when you smile, whether it's real or fake, it releases your brain's happy juices. That's what I call them, are your happy juices. And that's your serotonin, your dopamine, your endorphins, all those good happy juices in your brain. And so simply smiling, and again, it could be totally fake, but the upward motion of your mouth smiling helps release those happy juices. The other thing, and I don't know about you, but I I'm totally a kid at heart. I am 42 years old, but I love toys, and my family knows that very well about me. And so it can be those simple, simple things. And I'm going to show you some of the things that I got for Christmas that make me really, really happy. And so I hope that they do too for you. But this is absolutely my favorite toy that I got this season. It is a Baby Yoda Bop It. And my husband, he was like, "I didn't actually go back and get that for you. I'm sorry." And then I unwrapped it and I was like, "I got it." But it is so fun. My son and I have been playing it the last couple of days. And because, let's see if you can hear.
Bop it to start.
Yeah, so you bop it. So you bop it, turn it, twist it, pull
Bop
it.
it to start.
It is very, very fun, and very amusing. And then
Let's
my
get a
son,
rest.
which we're gonna do a video later to put up on all of our social medias, he turned into a live bop it. So he goes, "Ch-ch-ch, bop it, twist it, pull it." And so I've been using my son as a live bop it, which is hilarious. So watch out for the video, and hopefully that will make you smile. Stitch is another one. Stitch is another one that I have over the years. I don't know, like, I mean, I love Lilo and Stitch. Stitch was kind of a weird, but now they make him look like very cute and fun to be around versus the original movie where he was not the cutest of them all, but you gotta love Lilo and Stitch. So I even got a Baby Yoda, which also turns into a Stitch. So my husband said, whatever mood I'm in, I can put this on the side of my desk if I'm happy or if I'm mad. And then when they walk in the door, they'll know how I'm feeling that day. I don't know. And then one of the things that have come about the last couple of years, and well, really the last 2 years, is Care Bears. So there's a story behind this, but This is, which I love this one. This one is the Believe in Your Dreams bear. Um, Yep, pretty sure I took the tag off, but the Follow Your Dreams Care Bear. So that's just something that makes me really happy. And the reason why, so I bought after my sister passed. So my sister was actually the one that she was like the care bear. Like she loves bears. She loves everything bears. And me and like all the bears that she had in her house were just like, do you need more bears? Like really? And if she could hug a bear, she totally would have hugged a bear. But and I was not really into bears up until my sister passed. I think we all like absorbed all the things that she loved over time. But I had bought this. Hopefully you can kind of see it. Let's see which way. There we go. So I bought this entire Care Bear set, and it's something that I've carried around with me. So I know most of you know, but my sister Carrie, we call it Care Bear, and that's where it really started coming from. But my family has adopted that. I really love Care Bears because I do. I love little My Little Pony, Care Bears, Rainbow Bright, like all the good. Come on, remember all the good cartoons. They were all the good cartoons. And so this this Christmas was filled with lots of toys. It always ends up with lots of toys. And even so much that I got the 40th anniversary bear from my family. So it's small things. It can be super small things, just really, really small things. Maybe you like toys, maybe you don't like toys, maybe you like books. Like I have a whole bunch of books over here. Maybe you are really into it's not that way, it's over here. Um, I'm like the opposite of where you guys are backwards. But Buddhas, maybe it is, I have crystals and stones also back here. It can be really, really simple things. That's what I'm trying to get to. That's my whole entire point is that it can be really simple things. It can be simple, like smiling, laughing at the bop it, making a human bop it. If you like toys, maybe it's something very small, maybe it's something very simple that you have that you can cuddle with, that you can squeeze, that you can look at, and it makes you happy. Whatever way you find that you release those happy juices in your brain is my point of this whole entire thing is that yeah, the holidays can really suck because it brings up a lot of emotion for people and it can be really, really hard, but it doesn't have to be. Again, the words that we say are so important. It doesn't have to be hard. I don't have to hate it. I can make it through and I can be strong and I can be positive and I can, whatever I need to do to make me feel that way, whether it's something stupid or small or simple or a toy or whatever it might be, it can be that simple. Or maybe you run around your house and just smile. I don't know, like whatever that is for you, it's going to be different for you than it is for me because we all experience things differently. And maybe you just need some extra support. And so I invite you to come to any of our circles support groups. You can join them at any point in time. And so today we have another one. It's at 12:30 Mountain Standard Time. I will drop the links and across all of our social media where this video is and you can join us. And we can support you. And there's some really fabulous people on there that want to help support each other. Or maybe you don't want to talk at all. You can also just listen. That's the cool part about this is you can log in, you can listen. You don't actually have to talk unless it's just you and me in the room. Then it's like, well, would you like to talk or you want to sit here in silence? I actually had that happen last Tuesday. We only had one lady that jumped in, which is fine because she comes to almost every single one of my groups, which is awesome. So I'm really learning and getting to know her story. And we just talked. It wasn't about her loss. It was for like a couple minutes, but then we just talked about normal human things. Because sometimes that's what we need. Instead of repeating that story over and over and over in our brain of what happened, sometimes you just need human connection and somebody that will really truly listen to whatever's coming up. And maybe it's just a casual conversation, not even about what you're going through. And that can be really important too. So I invite you, with all of this said, to pay attention to the words that you say, the words that you say to others, and the words that you say to yourself, because you are important. Your life matters. And what you say to yourself can sometimes be the most hurtful things that we say. And so if you notice that you're saying more negatives about yourself, or you're saying more negatives outwardly towards people, think about it and reframe what you're saying. If it always comes out, I hate the holidays. Well, what is one thing? Can be one thing. What's one thing that you like about the holidays? And let's focus on that. Just the one thing. It doesn't have to be everything. It doesn't have to be big and grand and all these things. It can simply be one thing. Maybe the one thing is a Christmas tree. Maybe the one thing is the toys that you get or the candy that you get. Or maybe the one thing is spending time with family or watching your kids open presents. Or maybe it's just sitting on the couch and watching a movie. Whatever it might be, that's okay. So just pick one thing and focus on that. And if you need extra support, whether it be around grief or loss or mental health or any of those things, join us for our support groups. You can just come in and listen. Maybe you just like to listen to this, and that's okay too. But come in and listen, or maybe share your story if something's bubbling up. That's how I run my rooms, is really, it's not about me, it's about you. And however I can support you, that's how I'm going to be, or the other people in the room, because they're really amazing. And I learn something new every single time I do these rooms. So I'm very blessed by having the Circles team reach out to me to have me guide these rooms. So hopefully this helps you as you navigate through the holidays. Again, the words that we say really, really, truly matter. And it only has to be one thing. You don't have to focus on everything. The words, right? And that one thing that will really, truly help us is eliminating all the other stuff. You don't need to worry about it. Just one thing. All right, y'all. Well, I hope this was helpful. If you feel like anybody needs this information, please feel free to share. Also, make sure you mash down that button to subscribe. And I have guests actually booked up until the end of March. So into April, I put the podcast on a match thing, and now guests are flooding in. So, which is great. We will have guests. Hopefully, none of the rest will cancel, but I think this is really important, anyways, as we navigate the holidays to really understand you're okay and you're going to be okay. And we can get through this together. And if you need extra support, there are other options. And you don't even have to come into my room. There's so many other incredible rooms that you can go into. So, however, that can help you. And it's a free platform for you. If you want to, there is an option to pay for it, which gives you access to more things, like most apps. But I think it's a really great platform. And I was actually supposed to have the owner of the platform on today. And so I thought it would be a really cool way to just share the information and not showcase a whole ton of things. We'll get there. And through this, we can definitely give resources and all those amazing things. So, as a reminder, BCC Evolution is a 501c3 nonprofit. We are still collecting money for our Climb for the Mind Simplest way is to text this number. Just text Climb for Mine to 44321. We are raising $60,000. Again, it's legit. It's on. We are climbing a mountain next August in the name of mental health and suicide awareness education. All the money that we collect goes back to BCC Evolution, and it'll go towards all of the programs that we offer through our mental health classes, because I more often than not have people that really need to get sponsored. It also helps us so that we can do these support groups for free and we don't have to charge for them. So, which is really, really amazing. And wanted me to do the second room. So we have the second room, which is awesome. So text this number, climb for mine to 44321. And I really, really hope that all of you have incredible holidays. And if you need any extra support, please make sure you go to bccevolution.org and you can send a message to myself or any member on our team, and we will reach out to you. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you join us back next Monday, same time, same place, Mondays, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.